There is a quiet thief that enters our lives, often unnoticed, somewhere after the age of 60. It doesn't steal our valuables or our possessions. It steals something far more precious, our strength. It begins subtly. You notice that a full jar is a little harder to open. Carrying the groceries from the car to the house feels a little more tiring than it used to. Then the theft becomes more personal, more intimate. It begins to steal the power from your own legs. You feel it as a slight wobble when you stand up, a hesitation at the bottom of a staircase, a reluctance to take a long walk because of a deep, persistent ache and a feeling of fatigue in your thighs. This is the silent, creeping progression of age-related muscle loss, a condition scientists call sarcopenia. The problem we are going to confront today is not just the physical weakness itself, but the profound and devastating way this loss of leg strength can dismantle our independence and shrink our world. Strong legs are the very foundation of an active, engaged life. They are what allow us to travel, to play with our grandchildren, to maintain our homes, and to have the simple, profound freedom to go where we want, when we want. When that foundation begins to crumble, we are left feeling frail, vulnerable, and increasingly confined. We are often told that this is an irreversible and inevitable part of the aging process, a battle that we are destined to lose. We are told to simply take it easy. But what if that is a dangerous lie? What if the steady decline in your leg strength is not an inevitable fate, but the direct result of a critical, daily mistake that millions of us are making within the first hour of waking up? We have been taught to think of our mornings in terms of energy for the day ahead. A quick cup of coffee, a simple piece of toast, or a bowl of cereal to get us going. But we have been completely overlooking the most critical metabolic window of the entire day for our muscles. The problem, for so many of us, is that we are starting our day in a state of profound muscular starvation. After a long overnight fast, our muscles are in a catabolic, or breakdown, state, and the typical breakfast we eat does absolutely nothing to stop it. In fact, it often makes it worse. Today, we are going to revolutionize your understanding of the morning meal. We are going to reveal how a specific, strategic breakfast, rich in a precise combination of nutrients, can act as the powerful on switch for muscle protein synthesis, the process that builds and maintains your leg strength. We will explain how this single meal can halt the overnight muscle breakdown in its tracks and initiate a powerful, anabolic, or muscle-building signal that will resonate throughout your entire day. We will provide you with a blueprint for constructing the perfect, muscle-preserving breakfast, packed with high-quality protein, essential amino acids, powerful antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory fats. This is not just a discussion about food. This is a strategic intervention. It is your guide to using the first meal of the day as your most powerful weapon in the fight against sarcopenia, allowing you to reclaim the strength, stability, and confidence in your legs that you may have thought was gone for good. To understand why the morning meal is so critical, we must first understand the dramatic metabolic tug-of-war that is happening inside your body when you wake up. The 8 or more hours you spend sleeping is the longest period you go without food in any 24-hour cycle. This is, in effect, a mini-fast. During this time, your body needs to maintain a steady supply of glucose for your brain and other essential functions. To do this, it releases a hormone called cortisol. While cortisol is often known as the stress hormone, in this context, its primary job is to ensure you have enough fuel. And one of the main ways it does this is by initiating a process called gluconeogenesis, which is a fancy way of saying creating new sugar. And where does your body get the raw materials to create this new sugar? One of its favorite sources is the amino acids stored in your muscles. During the night, your body is in a catabolic state. It is actively breaking down a small amount of your precious muscle tissue to convert it into the glucose needed to keep your brain happy. This is a normal, natural process. In a young, healthy individual, this overnight muscle breakdown is easily offset by the muscle building that occurs during the day. But here is where the problem arises for those of us over 60. As we've discussed before, we are often living in a state of anabolic resistance. Our muscles are less sensitive to the signals that tell them to grow. We also have lower levels of anabolic hormones. This means that we are already fighting an uphill battle against muscle loss. That natural, overnight catabolic state is no longer a small, easily repaired dip. It is a significant and dangerous period of accelerated muscle breakdown. When you wake up in the morning, your muscles are in their most vulnerable state of the entire day. They are actively being broken down, and they are screaming out for one thing: a powerful anabolic signal to shut down the catabolism and flip the switch to anabolism, or building mode. Now consider the typical breakfast: a piece of toast with jam, a bowl of cornflakes with low-fat milk, a muffin and a cup of coffee. What do all of these have in common? They are composed almost entirely of carbohydrates, and very little, if any, protein. When you consume a high-carbohydrate meal like this, you get a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin. While insulin is a powerful anabolic hormone, in the absence of sufficient amino acids from protein, its muscle-building effect is minimal. You have effectively sent a signal to your body to store energy, primarily as fat, but you have failed to provide the essential building blocks your muscles desperately need to stop the breakdown process. You have essentially thrown gasoline on a fire without giving the fire department any water. You have wasted the most important metabolic opportunity of the day. You have allowed that catabolic, muscle-wasting state to continue for several more hours, until your next meal. And it is this repeated daily mistake, this failure to flip the anabolic switch in the morning, that is a primary, driving force behind the gradual, relentless progression of sarcopenia in your legs. The solution, therefore, is to consciously and strategically construct a breakfast that is specifically designed to do three things. First, it must provide a high-quality, easily digestible source of protein to flood your bloodstream with amino acids, the literal building blocks of muscle. Second, it must contain a sufficient amount of a very specific, superstar amino acid that acts as the primary, on switch for muscle protein synthesis. And third, it must be packed with supporting nutrients, like antioxidants and healthy fats, that reduce the chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown. A breakfast built on these principles does more than just provide energy. It is a direct, therapeutic intervention that can halt muscle loss and begin to rebuild the powerful foundation in your legs. Let's begin with the cornerstone of our muscle-preserving breakfast: protein. Protein is the non-negotiable, most important macronutrient for anyone over the age of 60 concerned about muscle loss. As we've established, the amino acids from protein are the bricks. But how much protein do we need, and what kind is best? Due to anabolic resistance, the protein needs of older adults are significantly higher than those of younger people. While a younger person might be able to stimulate muscle protein synthesis with 15 grams of protein in a meal, research has shown that for an older adult, the threshold is much higher, closer to 30 or even 40 grams in a single sitting to get a robust muscle-building response. And the morning meal is the most important time to hit this target. So, what does 30 grams of protein look like? It's about 4 to 5 eggs. It's a large scoop and a half of most protein powders. It's a very generous portion of Greek yogurt, combined with nuts and seeds. The source of the protein is also critical. We need a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 of the essential amino acids that our bodies cannot produce on their own. Excellent sources include eggs, dairy products, like Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, lean meats, and high-quality protein powders like whey or a good plant-based blend. But within those essential amino acids, there is one that stands head and shoulders above the rest as the master regulator of muscle growth. This is our superstar, our master switch. We are talking about leucine. Leucine is a branched-chain amino acid, BCAA, that has a unique and powerful signaling function in the body. When leucine enters your muscle cells, it directly activates a complex called mTOR, which you can think of as the foreman of the muscle-building construction site. The activation of mTOR is the primary rate-limiting step for initiating muscle protein synthesis. Without enough leucine, the mTOR pathway remains dormant, and muscle building will not happen, no matter how much other protein you eat. It is the spark that ignites the entire engine. Research has shown that a meal needs to contain at least 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine to effectively stimulate the mTOR pathway in older adults. So, as we build our breakfast, we need to be conscious of choosing protein sources that are not just high in total protein, but also rich in leucine. Whey protein is the undisputed king of leucine, which is why a morning protein shake can be such a powerful tool. Eggs are also a fantastic source. A single large egg contains about 0.5 grams of leucine, so 4 eggs will get you close to the target. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are also excellent choices. For those on a plant-based diet, it's a bit more challenging, as most plant proteins are lower in leucine, but it can be achieved by combining sources, such as a pea and rice protein blend, or by adding a BCAA supplement. The key takeaway is this: your breakfast must be centered around a significant dose of a high-leucine protein source. This is the non-negotiable first step to flipping the anabolic switch. Now that we have our powerful protein base, let's build the rest of our perfect, muscle-preserving breakfast around it. While protein is the star, the supporting cast of characters is what makes the whole performance a success. The second critical component is a source of powerful, anti-inflammatory compounds. As we discussed, chronic, low-grade inflammation is a powerful catabolic force that actively breaks down muscle tissue. Starting your day with a potent dose of anti-inflammatory nutrients can help to quench this fire and create a more favorable environment for muscle growth. The first and most delicious way to do this is by incorporating a generous serving of antioxidant-rich fruits, specifically berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are packed with anthocyanins, the dark pigments that give them their color. These compounds are incredibly powerful antioxidants that help to neutralize the free radicals that can damage muscle cells and contribute to inflammation. Studies have shown that consuming these compounds can reduce markers of inflammation and even lessen the muscle soreness and damage that can occur after exercise. Adding a full cup of mixed berries to your morning protein shake or your bowl of Greek yogurt is a fantastic way to provide your muscles with this protective shield. The next anti-inflammatory powerhouse we need to include is a source of omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats, particularly EPA and DHA, are some of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory agents you can consume. They work at a deep, cellular level to resolve inflammation and improve the health of your cell membranes, including those of your muscle cells. A healthy, fluid cell membrane is crucial for allowing nutrients to enter the cell and waste products to leave. Some research has even suggested that omega-3s can directly enhance the muscle-building response to protein and exercise, making your muscles more sensitive to the anabolic signals. Fantastic morning sources of omega-3s include ground flax seeds or chia seeds, which can be easily stirred into a shake or yogurt, and walnuts. Just a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or a small handful of walnuts can provide a significant dose of these muscle-protecting fats. The third component of our breakfast is a source of smart, slow-digesting carbohydrates. We have vilified carbohydrates in the context of the typical, high-sugar breakfast. But we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. A modest portion of the right kind of carbohydrate can be incredibly beneficial. We need to choose complex carbohydrates that are high in fiber, such as those found in rolled oats, quinoa, or a piece of sprouted grain toast. These carbohydrates break down slowly, providing a steady release of glucose into the bloodstream. This provides your muscles with the sustained energy they need for the repair and building process, without the dramatic blood sugar and insulin spike that comes from refined carbs. This slow release of insulin, in the presence of all those amino acids from your protein, can actually enhance the anabolic signal, helping to drive those precious amino acids into the muscle cells more effectively. The fiber in these carbohydrates also feeds your gut microbiome, which is increasingly being recognized as a key regulator of inflammation throughout the body. A healthy gut is essential for a healthy, non-inflamed body. So let's put this all together and create a few examples of the perfect, anabolic breakfast. Breakfast Option 1. The ultimate muscle-building smoothie. In a blender, combine 1 to 1.5 scoops of high-quality whey protein powder, or a leucine-rich plant-based blend. Add 1 cup of frozen mixed berries. Add 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds. Add a large handful of spinach for extra nutrients and magnesium. And blend it all with 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk or water. This smoothie is a powerhouse. It delivers 30 to 40 grams of high leucine protein, a massive dose of antioxidants, a serving of omega-3 fats and fiber. It is easily digestible, which is important as our digestive systems can become less robust with age, and it floods your system with muscle-building nutrients within minutes. Breakfast Option 2. The Power Scramble. Scramble 4 to 5 whole eggs. The yolk is incredibly nutritious and contains a good portion of the leucine, so don't discard it. Sauté a large handful of spinach and some mushrooms to have alongside your eggs. On the side, have half an avocado, sliced for healthy fats and potassium. You can pair this with a single slice of sprouted grain toast. This meal is packed with high-quality protein, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats, and is incredibly satiating. Breakfast option 3. The Greek yogurt power bowl. Start with a generous portion, at least 1.5 cups, of plain, full-fat or low-fat Greek yogurt. The fat is important for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins and for satiety. Stir in a tablespoon of chia seeds and let it sit for a few minutes to thicken. Top this with a full cup of fresh berries and a small handful of walnuts. This bowl is a fantastic source of casein protein, which is a slow-digesting protein that provides a sustained release of amino acids, as well as probiotics for gut health, antioxidants from the berries, and omega-3s from the walnuts and chia. What about coffee or tea? A cup of black coffee or unsweetened tea is perfectly fine, and may even have some benefits due to its antioxidant content. The key is to avoid loading it with sugar and creamer, which can turn it into an inflammatory, muscle-sabotaging beverage. This shift in your morning routine is more than just a change in diet. It is a fundamental change in your metabolic signaling. You are consciously choosing to start your day in a powerful muscle-building state, rather than a passive, muscle-wasting one. You are giving your legs the precise tools they need to fight back against sarcopenia, to repair the damage from the day before, and to build a stronger, more resilient foundation. Of course, this breakfast is most powerful when it is part of a larger, holistic strategy. It must be combined with a commitment to staying active. The breakfast provides the building blocks, but the stimulus from exercise is the architectural plan that tells your body where to put those blocks. A simple routine of daily walking, combined with some gentle resistance exercises for your legs 2 to 3 times a week, is the perfect partner to your anabolic breakfast. And it must be combined with an overall diet that is rich in whole, unprocessed foods. This one perfect meal cannot completely undo the damage of a diet that is otherwise filled with inflammatory, nutrient-poor foods. But it is the single most important and impactful place to start. It sets the metabolic tone for your entire day. When you start your day with a meal that is so profoundly nourishing and satiating, you will find that your cravings for sugary, processed foods later in the day will naturally diminish. Your energy levels will be more stable, and your body will be in a state of repair and building, rather than a state of breakdown and inflammation. This is an act of profound self-respect. It is the recognition that your strength, your mobility, and your independence are worth fighting for. It is the understanding that you are not a helpless victim of the aging process, but an active, powerful participant in your own health and vitality. The thief of sarcopenia works slowly and silently, but you now have the knowledge and the strategy to stop it in its tracks. The battle for the strength of your legs is won or lost in the first hour of your day. With every single bite of your new, powerful, anabolic breakfast, you are casting a vote for a stronger, more stable, and more independent future. You are choosing to build a foundation that will not crumble, but that will carry you with confidence and with joy for all the years to come.